everybody, and welcome to Carroll University against Temple on this Tuesday evening. Carroll still looking for their first W. It looks like we'll be playing Lijiang Tower. My name is Grim Reaper, and I will be casting today's match. Students were away at fall break, and they've come back to get some action here against Temple. We're going to see Carroll go ahead and roll out this composition that we've seen before in the previous weeks. The Sim Bastion, Lucio, Bab, Reinhardt. We're going to see the TP out of Boom. The AJ leading the front line here. The Fire Strike's not going to connect, and it'll be this more poke style composition outside Temple. He's going to go ahead and get walled here. His shield is very low, not able to recharge that quite yet. See Saucy here in the back line, just getting some poke, but in doing that, Zephyr is going to go ahead and kill him from the side of Temple. Don't find a nice off angle there. Carroll's going to go ahead and control the point, even though Saucy did go down. The TP is going to be there for Trent, but Boom, looking away for a second, just allows Temple to move forward, and this point is just going to go back over. So the idea was there to get Saucy back into the fight early, but yet during that time it'll be Temple stepping forward. They're going to go ahead and cap the point after Carroll immediately gets the 15%. We're going to go ahead and see Nanomi please swap to the Orisa to match this. The Butter Toast and Boom cycle with the first ultimate to the game. See how both players want to use it here. Rough coming up on a main freeze. The TP is going to go on point. It's not going to be effective. The window's going to go ahead and go out, but the wall is not going to be answered. Carroll just waiting this one out. Temple being patient. It's going to be a window of their own, and this is going to be go time. The freeze is going to come out. It's going to separate Saucy. It's also going to separate Boom Cycle, and Temple is going to be able to take advantage of that. So just like that, Carroll again on the back foot. A couple ultimates we've seen here for Temple, and Carroll's going to be on this reset again. The Adam on the Lucio here. Glass also about to, or he has his beat rather. Adam is getting very close. He'll have his beat for this next fight, but it'll be Temple 65% and counting. It'll be the Bastion ult again early. Carroll looking to take this space, and the beat's going to go ahead and be forced out. Carroll get the speed out, but yet they haven't accomplished much of anything. It'll be 75%. The wall does drop, even though it did split off Nanomi AJ. And the Orisa ult coming in through for Temple. Again, Carroll looking to get in. They haven't been able to get in. They've been poking. Unfortunately for Carroll, the poke is stronger on the side of Temple. The wall is going to be finally used here from Carroll, and the wall, Sim wall is going to, or the window rather, is going to come out. It's going to find value after Nanomi please commits his Orisa ultimate. It'll be Carroll after capping the point first. They're going to be able to recap the point again, and it'll be do or die here, as Carroll's got to remain diligent in the fact that they cannot give up the point again. It'll be Zephyr with an ultimate here on the side of Temple, looking to get things done. Again, that poke, so aggressive here for Temple. As I was saying, Zephyr's going to go ahead and use that ultimate. There you go, speed onto the backline, and Expensive is in a lot of trouble. They're going to go ahead and go down, and not much support here left for Carroll, and as I say that, Nanomi Police is going to be fall. Adam's going to join him next. And it's Carroll not able to touch here, as the Sim ultimate's going to prevent that. Nanomi Police swaps to the Junkrat, but he's also not able to touch. And Temple's going to take the first map here, 1-0. Go ahead and go to Lijiang Gardens next.
collection of vintage vinyl.
That's sick.
Assuming it'll be
Big
another
I could
similar
send him some
composition
stuff,
that
too.
Carroll's going to roll out.
Love that.
It's interesting to see if they're going to maintain the Bastion pick. They did seem to struggle just a little bit. And they're just not.
I feel this in my bones.
It's going to be Soldier and Reaper instead. And the Orisa is going to stay the same. We've seen in the past that they might elect for the Zarya pass, but it just doesn't look like that's the composition they're going to go ahead and go for. It'll be Adam and expensive. Lucio. They're going to go ahead and gain the choke. But in doing so, AJ's just going to go down. It's just a little too aggressive. Carroll not having the Mei. It just wasn't together. And Enemy Please is just going to be taken down. So it'll be again. This time around, it'll be Temple capping the point first. And Carroll looks to regain like they did before. Hopefully just a little bit faster this time around. We saw them able to take over the point around 75 seconds. The boom cycle here with a railgun. The wall's going to come out and they're just going to go right after AJ. The wall's going to be broken. The Wraith is going to be forced. The Enemy Please taking a lot of damage. They're going to try to heal him up, and the wall's going to come out again. It'll be Saucy booped off the map here. Just not able to find the damage. He's got his ultimate now. AJ's in there with little help, and it'll be Carroll off the reset after 35% going over, and Spencer just needs to maybe die off the but rather they're gonna go ahead and find the Baptiste, so the trade there at least, but it's looking pretty slow here on leading Gardens as Carroll is down 50%. And they need to capture this W here to force a map 3 here on Control. They're gonna go ahead and go early, knowing that the Baptiste isn't here, but also Carroll doesn't have their Baptiste, so the Enemy Please is actually gonna go down. It's gonna be Saucy swapping to the Mei. Saw him on Reaper, just wasn't feeling effective. There's going to be ultimates to use on both sides, and it's going to be 80% here with Carroll needing to cap. They're going to try the bridge this time around. Some walls are going to, ult is going to come out. They're not going to be able to stop past this Orisa. Looks like I'm actually going to find the Orisa, but he's going to go down shortly after. It'll be Adam to touch, trying to survive. He's just not able to do so. Main freeze and the boop preventing expensive to touch, and it's a quick game one going over to Temple after a closer battle on Control Center, but Gardens just didn't go Carroll's way, as we're actually going to see an Enemy Please play the game here. It was that rather large Orisa ultimates, followed up by Saucy. They're getting 4. But outside of that, Carroll just not able to come away with the victory there, just losing some key fights. We're just going to go ahead and bring it to the desk. Yeah, so we'll have to see what Carroll can provide in this second map. We might see some changes in compositions, as we've seen before, and maybe some personnel, depending on what Saucy has here to bring. But we're going to go ahead and bring you guys to a break. We'll be right back. Alrighty, we're gonna be back for game 2. Just realized I put it to the desk and not the game. Anyways, we're gonna get into King's Row here. We've seen this map plenty of times here out of Carroll, and we did make some personnel swaps like I was alluding to. We could have seen. We're gonna go ahead and see Kleinsaucer coming in for Boom Cycle, and that's gonna be the single change here for Carroll University. And it looks like Temple's composition changed. So we'll have to see how Carroll responds after losing to map 1. And we'll see Temple kind of prepping the composition that we actually saw at Carroll on that first map there. So with this new personnel change, it looks like we're going to be playing the Orisa, Sojourn, May, Baptiste, and then the Illari here. We've seen Expensive play the Illari, and now and we've seen Adam play the Illari in weeks past, but it'll be up to Expensive here to be playing that character, and we'll just have to key on the points here. We've seen Carroll struggle on King's Row. They still allude to pick King's Row here. We're going to go ahead and swap to the Widow here. It looks like Ruff's not going to find anything, so it's going to be the Sigma, and I just clicked the wrong button, but they're going to try to poke out this Orisa, but in doing so, we got to make sure that the Orisa is managing her cooldowns well. It's going to be the early gold in, and it's going to be Carroll giving up some space here. They're going to go ahead and TP right on to these players on the high ground. It'll be the Sim, but the support here. So space given to Carroll, or giving to Temple rather, and the percentages are going to come in, and they're not just going to be able to touch here. There is just way too much space given. They're not comfortable holding that space, and there wasn't a ideology there for Carroll that wanted to take a good fight, so they're going to go ahead and step away, and Sim's actually going to drop here. They're going to have the damage out of Kleinsaucer to do that. They're going to go, Pumpkin's going to swap to the Reinhardt here, so a little less range now than what they had before. The AJ holding the front line here. Klein and AJ doing a great job here, staying together. Something we've seen maybe a little less of in the last game. The shift's going to come up from the Bastion, and just like that, it's going to go forward. The golden from the Orisa is going to be both windows, and the window now coming out. It was a lamp rather, and Klein's going to find a nice headshot. Saucy's going to find a few out of that. And Carroll played that pretty well. They kited out well, used some ultimates, and Klein with a big wall there separating the team of Temple. And Carroll's going to find back-to-back fights here after giving up the first point. Saucy with the overclock here. One of the few ultimates that Carroll has. It's a decent wall. Klein is going to force out the shield of the Reinhardt. So that's going to, again, buy some time. That's a cooldown in itself. They're going to go ahead and step forward, though, with Ryan with no shield. The Bastion shift's coming through. It's going to be a shatter in the back line. They don't really care about that. AJ's going to go down, but Carroll's going to find some kills here. Saucy struggling to kill the map just a little bit, but again, they lose Nanami here, or Nanami please, in the front in that fight, and they were able to use some ultimates to combat those that Temple threw out. And again, Pumpkin maybe wanting to swap. He's going to go ahead and go back to that Reinhardt. They'll just be expensive here with the ultimate. It looks like they're going to try to get away from this choke. Play a different angle out of Temple. Looks like Klein's going to be split. The L'Oreal is going to come out. They have this Baptiste split up to the left. I don't know if they just can do anything. The beat's going to come through the wall. It's a good wall from Klein, and there's actually two characters inside of the wall. But again, Klein finding some massive walls. It's going to be Nanomi, please. Just not recognizing that their wall was been played. Then Ruff being able to find a wall of his own, and Carroll's going to go ahead and go down. So they're going to get the cart movement here after struggling. I think it's going to be Adam going to be staggered, and it's going to be a pretty large stagger in that. So he dedicated one person on the cart. They're able to push Carroll back to the spawn room. It'll be Adam coming off a spawn with a window of his self. It'll be interesting if Carroll knows about the May upcoming. They got to position themselves well. There's no speed boost for them. So it's really going to come down to the positioning here. Saucy with the rail shot here. They really got to get away from this choke. They put themselves in a choke, and that May's going to freeze very close. It's going to be a shatter instead, and just nobody being able to use Nanomate Please's shield there. Everybody playing off to the right of the Reinhardt. The Reinhardt sneaks to the right, and they didn't even need the May ult. Again, Carroll just not taking the space when they can. You would like to see maybe Saucy slide off to the right, create some space, create some opportunity. But it's Carroll on the back foot here. This will be the lone ultimate from Saucy here. Nanomate Please is going to get the shatter here in this fight. And Saucy just not able to get the high ground. They're going to lose Lucio. That's their speed boost. They're going to try to come out of this fight. We've actually seen Klein swap over to the Bastion and not on the May. See to do some dividend there. So Carroll again putting a little stop into Temple's momentum here with 3 minutes to go. Again, Temple was able to cap the first points in relative good time. It wasn't much of a fight out of Carroll, but they've done a good job stalling this clock. They're about 2:45 here. A couple more fights, and Carroll will find themselves on the attack. With no speed boost, this is looking very, very tough. It'll be an overdrive from Saucy, and he just can't find that Baptiste. They're going to go ahead and install the cart here, and there's actually going to be an ultimate out of Expensive. Both these supports out of Carroll surviving at the last second, which is something that you want to see, but everybody going down around them just too fast to where they can't out-heal. It's going to be Saucy going off to the Genji. Nanomate Please is going to find the shatter. They're going to actually get that kill. He's not going to be able to touch the cart. It's going to be Genji on the cart. It's being frozen by the May. A big Immort coming out, but Expensive's going to go down to the Reinhardt. The ice block has been pushed out, but it's that beat might just close it. Adam just not being able to find an opportunity to window. It'll be everybody playing their life pretty well. They find the Lucio. This is very doable. Carroll finding some important kills. Klein not able to prevent that Bastion damage coming in, and it's just AJ staying alive here at this point. Cannot C9. The window coming in now, which is a little odd. There's only 2 left, but Adam definitely feeling that pressure to use that ultimate. He's going to go ahead and use it. We'll see if Carroll needs to make these swap. He's going to swap off the Doomfist, even though he was close to the ultimate. You might regret that decision, especially with the May ultimate coming back in. Carroll might not expect this May ultimate, and that mobility that Doomfist provides might actually keep Nano Please safe. It'll be rough finding Adamant. And he's actually just going to get run down. Adamant going down, not able to provide any sort of healing. That freeze coming in, and I don't know if it would have mattered much if it was the Reinhardt or the Doomfist there, but it didn't pan out the way Carroll expected it to. But after being pushed away in the very first fights, Carroll going on the attack here.
Defend objective A.
Here with the cue. Ça, c'est prescription docteur.
So we're about at 130 back here for this attack from Carroll. Sorry, it was stepping away just briefly. But it's Carroll on the attack, just not able to get anything going here. It'll be the enemy please being pushed out, but it'll be the two players here on the point from Carroll, and they're going to go ahead and disengage after that window comes out. So it'll be Carroll just waiting this one out. The bubble coming out, just not being able to do anything with that. The Ryan's going to look to shatter here. He's getting aggressive. There's the shatter. It's a nice bubble out of AJ. The grab's going to come out. The beat's also going to come out the window. A lot of ults coming out. Carroll doing good, though. It's going to be Klein alone. Carroll not recognizing that Klein was in there. They're not going to be able to step forward. And with nobody taking that pressure off the Reaper ult's not going to find anything. It'll be Adam taking down 2. He's going to go ahead and go away. So it's going to be Klein. Expensive is going to find another one as well. So there's just 2 players here. For Tempo. Carroll's got to play this a little bit slower. They got to make sure that they oblige. It looks like Temple's just going to give it up, as they should, and it'll be 3 people taking over the point. Carroll's got to recognize, though, that Temple is able to touch here, and they had the Lucio to speed. Here they come. We have a Nano Blade to use. The Blade's going to come out right onto the Bastion. The Slice and Dice is good. The Mail going to come in as well. The Reaper's going to go down. Saucy being able to locate that Baptiste there. Forcing the ice block out of the Mei. The Reinhardt's just going to be 1 HP, being booped around. Mei's going to go down from Adam. And Carroll successfully takes this point.
Objective A captured.
So it'll be Carroll with 303. Just a little bit different of a time bank than we saw out of Temple. Temple had about 5 minutes to attack the second point. Carroll just not lucky enough.
Healing you up.
Carroll doing a good job occupying this space. We actually see Zephyr go off to the Tracer. The window's going to come through, but there's going to be 2 windows. Fire Strike coming through. They got to make sure that they don't lose that. A nice bubble is going to actually block that shatter, I believe. But Zephyr's going to find here on the back line. Klein doing a good job here, forcing out the front line. Tracer's still behind him. No one really paying notice to that. Klein's just going to turn around, headshot the Tracer there. She's going to go down. The TP's going to come in. It'll be huge opportunity to staggers here. Klein not being able to rate there. Not quite sure if it was off a cooldown, but it'll be Nanomi please on the back foot. It's a big beat, but it's going to go ahead and be met with the beat out of glass. Ryan going to go ahead and continue to step forward. The sleep is good, but that player is awoken immediately. Big nade coming in, and Carroll's going to be able to turn this fight. Tossie going down immediately after casting the blade. Ruff's going to find Klein's head again. The Nade go. Expensive Maybe putting the team on the back there after finding that large sleep dart and the anti-nade to push Temple off. The Temple here to touch. Carroll's not going to be able to push this all the way through before the point capture. You're going to try to force out some cooldowns here. It's the Reaper ult and Adam with his window. With Pumpkin Shatter and Ruffs. May ult, and as I say, that Klein's going to actually get 2 in the background from the Nano coming in. And Carroll's actually finding some momentum here. They're going to get about 3 minutes left in the time bank here. They have to capture the map to give themselves a chance. Doesn't matter if they have time or not, as Temple's under that minute. It'll be 2 minutes instead of that 2:30, just a little off. Reaper's going to go ahead and go on the high ground. The lamp is going to be met there from the Shatter. The Shatter's actually not going to connect with the May ult on top of it. Finally, please able to be kept up, but I can actually find another one. Klein's going to die once again. It'll be just the Ana and the Genji, and as I say, that expensive is going to go down. It'll be Carroll on the reset with 1:30. Almost a grab in hand. This grab comes out fast enough. I'm unsure Glass will have an opportunity to build his beat. We'll have to keep an eye on that. The window's going to go ahead and go out. It's going to be met by a May wall of Ruff. So it did split the team. The Temple doing a good job regrouping here. It does create some space. Bastion ult's going to come through. Another window. Good bubbles coming out of AJ. This May is very deep. Adam's going to actually fall to the May though. Carroll, one last attempt. 45 seconds here. A blade and grab to work with. Last. It's going to probably have the beats. And it's going to be just the beat for Temple. So depending how Carroll can play this, maybe expensive, able to build a nano about 40% away. It's all or nothing here. 20 seconds, folks. Grab's going to come out. It's going to come out way early, which is something that you want to see with the beat not being made, but it's just not met with any force. Klein's actually going to find Ruff here. The Bastion going to be one shot. Didn't receive any help from the supports. And Carroll's actually found a way into this fight. If they clean this up now, they will be able to cap the point. Glass has got the beat, so it'll be interesting if they're able to reconnect this in any way. Sparcy's laying at 70 HP. They just can't pressure out the Baptiste off to the left, and there's a May on card. You like people to step forward here. The Reaper ult's going to come in. Did it come out prematurely? It's about 92%. The beat's going to come through. It's going to be met with a Shatter. He's also nanoed here. He's going to find the Lucio. The Ryan's going to go down. The Baptiste is still alive. It might not have looked pretty there out of Carroll, as the Baptiste, in my mind, just stayed alive for too long. Nobody wanted to step forward to challenge the Baptiste. It paid off for Carroll in the end as they finished the map. We're going to go into overtime, and Temple's going to have a little bit more time to spare. See Carroll starting on the attack again as they have less time than the opponents. But with a slow start there on that last attack, you begin to wonder if Carroll's got enough in them to capture this point here and maybe go 1-1 here in the series. I'm going to go ahead and roll out with the same composition. It's relatively smart, but with a minute, Carroll kind of relied on those big ultimates to get them through the point. But with only a minute to play, it's going to be very difficult to build up that 100% ult charge. And they get a good fight here. Maybe they can steamroll into the back end of the second points, but it's going to be a little challenging here for Carroll, I assume.
The end draws near.
They're actually going to go see Adam maybe play the Ilari. Not quite sure if he's just messing with that whiteboard there, or the blackboard, and he definitely was just toying with us. He's going to go ahead and swap back to the Baptiste. Be Nano me please, leading the way. He's gonna immediately find 40% charge. That's good. Waiting on the bubble. He's gonna come in a second bubble. They're poking out. There's no sense of forcing the fight immediately. You just poke it out. Don't get over anxious. Temple's gonna use some cooldowns there. They're gonna take the space, but Carroll did a good job just kiting it out. Saucy brought to low. And it'll be Carroll here, able to force out this Rhine Shield, and this is the space that they needed. The lamp's also gonna come out, so cooldown's being spent. Saucy just struggling to be kept up. Rhine was in the back line for a moment. He's got no Wraith. The wall's gonna come through, and Saucy's gonna be able to kill the Mei off of that. That's important. He dashes to a mini. I was worried that he wasn't going to get healed here. He's at 16 HP. He's going to be kept up, but somebody's got to touch. Zarya's got to walk forward. There is no Mei. And as I say that, he walks forward and maybe to his death. Bubble's just not coming up. Genji's going to find one. He gets the reset. It's going to be a window out of the supports. The Tracer's in the back line, and he's going to dash onto the Genji. Saucy. We saw it drop to, I don't know, 20 HP in multiple occasions, but the sports out of expensive and Adam able to keep them alive. Carroll played that pretty well. Rough actually swapping. He was on the Tracer there, or they were on the Tracer rather. He's going to go ahead and swap off, so all that percentage built toward a Mei ult, which is very powerful here in this overtime period, is to nil. It'll be Pumpkin with a Shatter. It'll be important for Carroll to negate that. There's a Nano Blade. It's just shattered. Not looking good there. Carroll against splits, but it might not matter here. The dash. He lost the Bastion there for a second. He's able to find one on the backside. Did Temple play it too fast? It's a massive shatter, but the damage couldn't be found. It's just a Lucio. I don't know about that Reaper out from Klein, but nonetheless, it pushes the cart forward. Carroll on the back foot, pushing forward here, gaining space. It's just like the last ulti here for the beats, but Rough, the big Mei ultimate, like I was alluding to before, is coming very close. Let's see how Carroll can keep up the pressure here. Expensive with a Nano. Klein's just poking out, but it's a Reaper. I don't know how much poke you're actually going to poke. Needed to find a close position there. He's going to receive the bubble. He's actually going to get nanoed here. He's got to be careful. Instead, it'll be Nano me, please, going down, and Carroll just not able to keep the pressure up. It was very difficult to do so. They didn't have many ultimates to play with, and you just wonder, did in fact, if Klein had his ultimate, if he was able to find an opportunity to continue that pushing. But instead, he elects to use it to kill those on the cart. It'll be Carroll going onto the defense. We saw them struggling to prevent Temple getting the space initially and allowing them to cap within the first 30 seconds, really. So they did find success on the point 2. So hopefully Carroll able to adapt their defense here. Put more of a defense on the map 1. It'll be okay for Carroll to give up this point 1. But it's really that 75.78 meters that they got to be hesitant about giving away on that second point there. Temple looking, that's the distance that they have to go. If Temple's able to do it, they'll be 2-0 in the series here after winning Lijiang Tower. Carroll trying to prevent that happening here on the defense.
What are you looking at?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Pumpkin's going to play the Sigma here. We're going to see the Bastion Mei. And the space obtained is obtained immediately. They're on the point already. Secure on the back foot. Klein's going to get headshot. Saucy's going to fall. That's going to be a quick point again from Temple. Carroll just not able to find a rhythm there upon point one. We saw it in the beginning of the game. We see it here again. It'll be up to Carroll here a minute. We see that golden spot just in front of Saucy. That's the location Temple's trying to get to. 75.78 meters will give them enough for them to capture this game too. Line looking for this flank. We'll see if it pays off. AJ's just split from the team. He's going to get the lamp. Very impressive lamp, rather, from Adam. Klein's going to go too aggressive after getting the first kill. Sleep's actually going to go onto Lucio. They're going to lose their speed and be pleased. Just stepping forward. A big nade coming out of the supports here. No bubbles. It's going to be very difficult to maintain this. Adam able to have this window. It's not looking good though. The grab comes out. Carroll on the back foot. You could tell that they maybe weren't just comfortable doing that. It'll be Temple here. And another close King's Row. We've seen it multiple times. Carroll just coming up short. We've seen this a couple of times in the week 3. This is week 5 rather. We've seen it a couple times, week 3, week 4. We're going to see another play of the game come from a Carroll player, that being Saucy here. This is the 5-minute time bank Temple had to work with, but Carroll able to win some big fights. They were able to stall them out quite impressively, actually, but that point 1 is just clearly a struggle there for Carroll. So we're going to go ahead and send it to a quick break again. We'll see you in map 3. Carroll is currently down 2-0 in the series, and we'll kick it to a break.
What's going on, guys? We are going to do the Whisper Challenge today.
We're going to go through 3 phrases, 45 seconds, and whoever gets the most wins.
And they say chivalry is dead. And they say... You gotta give me something.
Say the first word.
And...
I.
No. And...
He.
No. And... They...
Like.
Say... And they say... And they say... And they say... Chivalry is dead. And they say... And they... And... 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 And...
Refrigerator.
Are we starting? Okay.
It's in the refrigerator.
It's...
In. It's in the refrigerator.
I'm so bad. I'm not gonna get one. It's...
In.
High...
In.
Noon? No.
In.
It's...
In.
High...
It's in the refrigerator.
It's what? Oh my god. I'm not gonna...
Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos from us.
So it'll be Carroll here on the back foot. Here, trying to force a reverse sweep here. We're going to see them get into action here. So this is Zarya Reaper comp, once again, coming out from Carroll here. Saucy's actually going to find glass immediately, which is a very large pick. Going to force a shift out of the Kiri, and Saucy's going to actually find 2 here, which is massive. Massive, massive, massive start here from Carroll. Much needed after that close game 2. We could feel it just a little bit, but here it is. Saucy coming out with some picks here. Expensive here on the Mercy, pocketing Saucy, and we definitely did not notice him trying to get to the high ground, but failing. So it's a completely different composition out of tempo here from what we've seen. Complete dive. They're going to try to get these Somber hacks, and the Doomfist Genji are going to try to follow. A lot of mobility here. It's going to be interesting if Klein can find the damage here. He's just going to poke out that Doom, and that Doom is going to have to step away here. He's going to go ahead and get hacked, like I said, with the bubbles. If Nanomy please plays his bubbles right, nobody should feel the pressure of being hacked. So Klein, using his Wraith here, will be 70% here. Carroll doing very well. We just weren't in position there to protect our soldier, and that's going to be our main DPS. And with Saucy going down, it's going to be very difficult for Carroll to capture the point here. And again, it's just going to be Klein caught with Wraith in his pockets. He doesn't elect to use Wraith, and he's going to lose his life because of it. Nanomy, please. Gets out alive. He's at 62% out charge. It's going to be hard for him to find any value here besides his bubble. He's just going to be a utility bot for the most part. Making teammates teammates are safe here. The window's going to come out. The blade's going to come out. And the Doomfist ultimate. They're just not able to kill Zephyr quickly enough. Be Klein capping the point here. But it's not going to matter. Carroll on the back foot, 62%. Couple ultimates in their hand, and if Adam gets staggered here, he's actually going to find the Genji. It's going to be 75%. So it's a big kill. If it's not, they're going to hold the res. They're playing close. They're trying to prevent Carroll from touching. I think they're going to do just that. It will have to be Saucy to slide up. The bubble's going to come. It's going to proc overtime. The Valk going to come out. It's not going to get res, but Klein's going to find one. He's going to be punched. The bubble just not coming out fast enough from 8. Me please. But Carroll's found success here. And with that grab finding 2, with Klein being on top of Nanomy please, they're actually going to find it. It was very well done by Carroll. The touch was very important there from Saucy. He received the first bubble. Didn't survive very long. I think Expensive was trying to get the res, but maybe was booped out of it by Glass. We didn't see that come in. But the work from Saucy going noticed there. Klein Saucy are able to follow up on the grab here from Nanomy please. Carroll finds themselves in the lead here. For those not aware, Flashpoint is played to 3. Carroll's looking to capture 3 here to force a game 4. We're going to see the Wraith from Klein get booped away immediately. The Doomfist is coming in deep. The Tracer as well. Saucy's able to connect on that impressive shot. But Zephyr's going to trade out. The Lamp's going to come through. He'll go ahead and ultimate. I think he was trying to save that ultimate, Loki. Carroll find the first pick. Maybe a little too comfortable and knowing that they thought the fight was over, but this composition from Temple, very good at executing just one individual. Diving on the one person, that being expensive in that moment, just couldn't stay alive. So we're going to see Klein TP. He's facing a Tracer here. He's brought down to half HP. He's going to get healed by Carroll supports with 40% captured here. It's again expensive to go down first. Carroll in this close corridor, making it very easy for Zephyr to find this blade and the value to come with it, and 60%. The good news, Carroll going to probably be able to touch her, I would assume. But as I say that, Nano Me Please coming up just now. It might be best in their interest just to give it up, play for the next point, especially since they're playing this aggro. Temple making sure Carroll has no space to work with to touch this point. This could be a big fight here. They're about 91% here. Carroll's going to go ahead and walk forward. And as I say that, Saucy again going to go ahead and kill off that Doomfist, the window, a vital component in that from Adam. So we've seen this before. Expensive going down again. Adam's going to go ahead and kill Glass. This composition makes it very difficult to play the Mercy. Just able to execute, especially if that Mercy's not receiving help from the team. Kiriko's going to go ahead and TP out. Trying to go ahead and kill her, but again, the tank just absorbing that damage in front of the Kiriko is the important part. I just realized that I had music going on in the background and I turned it off. I apologize. A lot of background noise in your ears, a lot going on, so overstimulation, I'm sure. The grab gonna come out onto the Doomfist. The beat's also gonna come out. Klein trying to find pressure in the backline with that TP. See if he's able to get this Reaper ult through. Adam's gonna go ahead and go down. He's not gonna be able to pop it here. If he does, he thought about it, I think. I think he thought about it. Carroll's gonna go ahead and lose that one. Klein just not able to find a way to use his ultimate, find a location to use his ultimate. We saw him try to TP in a location, but that was the go button for Temple. They saw the Reaper TP, maybe they go deep onto the back line. Expensive's gonna go swap to the Kiri. I think it's smart. It's very difficult to stay alive on the Mercy. If this is in your deep, he might be able to lose his life. He's going to. Suzu's gonna be pulled. Klein's gonna find two with his Reaper ult. He's able to find it here. And now Carroll's gotta get to the flashpoint. Flashpoint's gonna go over to Carroll here after that fight win. Percentage is going to start. Gonna take this left approach. Klein doing a great job at keeping them away. So again, just holding out the raid. He's not very scared of what's coming after him. Saucy's gonna find two again. He's been a force to be reckoned with in the second map. He's trying to keep Carroll in it. He's doing a pretty good job of that. It'll be 52% and counting. It should be about one team fight depending how fast it goes. It'll be Saucy with his ultimate, the overclock, and it'll be Adam with the window himself. The Butter Toast with the Kiri ultimate themselves. And I'm sure it's gonna be a go button here very shortly. This Doomfist is going to be a force to be reckoned with the boosted cooldowns. We're going to see the boosted cooldowns, but Butternut's actually going to fall. The window is going to come out. It was a difficult spot to window from. Carroll maybe not expecting that ultimate to go through. They did find the initial pick, but like I said, it was kind of go button from there. The cooldown's reduced off of the Kiri ultimate, just makes that composition even more brutal as they're very dependent on their cooldowns and their movements. So it'll be Carroll, 99% here. Up against Temple, now are accruing some percentage themselves as they find themselves at 25% here. Can we please coming up to a grab? It'll be Glass with the counter ultimate here.
That feels much better.
Saucy's been a force to reckon with. He's got his overdrive. Can he find any value? Be him. The Genji, he sees the Genji. The Genji's going to be forced out. Kiri as well. Bap's trying to keep himself alive. Klein's going to find the kill. Beat's going to go ahead, come out. Not able to throw the E in there. Carroll a little lackluster there, which it was pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult to keep up with all these players and their movements. Dashing all over the place, the Tracer, the Genji, the Doomfist able to do the same. And Carroll just couldn't keep up with the characters there. The grab coming out, the beat to respond, as I was alluding to. Adam was trying to stay alive in that backline, but he just couldn't will himself to do. And now it's just Carroll. They found the first flashpoint. From then, they found success, but haven't been able to fully capitalize on anything. Klein's being chased. The Wraith and the Bubble came out at the same time, so it's a difficult position for sure. Flashpoint's going to unlock here. They're still battling for the point. The Fury's going to be half. Baptiste is going to go down. Pulse Bomb's going to not connect here from Ruff, but the point will certainly go over at the Temple after that, winning. They're going to start looking to end the game here. Carroll needing 2 flashpoints here. They got to come back to have a chance in the series. They're currently down 2-0. They lost to King's Row, a close one, and a Lijiang Tower that was close for the first map, but kind of got out of hand on the second map. So it'll be Carroll, 30% here. Again, we see the aggressiveness coming out of Temple. They're going to go ahead and go back to the point at the initial poke phase. Reaper goes in. There is no Lucio. He's really looking for this ultimate. He does have shift. He needs a shift. Again, he's not going to shift. He's going to go ahead and commit the ultimate. He's going to go ahead and shift now. The window coming out from Adam. It's met with Miracle ultimate. Scepter's going to again blade. I'm going to go ahead and swap for Farah. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, this will do it. Carroll's in desperation mode, needing to touch. Klein swapped to the Farah, not very mobile, even though she does fly. Diva's a little bit more mobile than her, but it'll be Temple here taking the 3-0 victory. Carroll still struggling to find their first victory. It won't happen today, but it was a good fight here. And we'll actually see Zephyr, a Temple player here, with the first play of the game for them. It's going to be a Blade. No one really contesting them there. It didn't really take too much damage. Free reign over the supports. The supports were together, but just couldn't keep each other alive. And that'll do it here from the desk. It's going to be, again, Carroll losing this map 3-0 against Temple. They went ahead and lost the Lijiang Tower, King's Row, and a Servasa there at the end. We're going to see the players lead the lobby here. And with that, we're going to go ahead and end the stream here. I hope you enjoyed. We'll have to bring you some more action of League of Legends tomorrow. I believe Klein Saucer will be doing that. But that's it for me, Grim Reaper. Take care.